Hello out there in YouTube land. Rival here, thanks for stopping by. I got just one thing on the turntable, but we're going to kind of go through it in depth a little bit more than just taking a peek at the scales here, have a little conversation about it. So I hope you don't mind me taking a little extra time on a solo piece. But as you can see, what we have here is the new Kershaw Emerson collaboration. This is actually the CQC7k. They also have a 6K, the 7K being differentiated by the Tonto blade. So I've had this for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. Been playing around with it, carrying it here and there, and all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a pretty sweet knife. It is a Chinese-produced 8CR 13 MOV blade. It's got a stainless steel frame lock. Comes with a G10 scale, a plain black G10 backspacer, and then from the factory it comes with this beautiful satin flats with stone-washed grinds. So that feature is pretty damn cool. So what I did to it, you can see we've got the custom carbon fiber scales, we've got the standard twill, with a little faux bolster there, kind of devolving into a random or rock pattern. Try and give you a little detail on this. So that gives you a nice little grip at the bottom end there with that randomized pattern, giving that twill all kinds of sexy. And then you get to show off a little bit of the regular weave there. I've also got a carbon fiber thumb disc. It normally comes with just a black steel thumb disc, so swap that out for a carbon fiber thumb disc that I made. See if we can get a little better detail on that. There you go. Gives it a cool look. And then on the back here we did a light stone wash with the splatter pattern, and then a carbon fiber clip with some blue mylar woven in, just to offset the blue geared backspacer that I've got on there. So, and there you can see, in most hard light, you just see it like a lightly stone-washed knife. But when you catch the right kind of light and glare, you get this really awesome offset pattern. So it's not so dark as to be way over the top, but dark enough to give it just a really cool look. It's easier to see in person than it is to catch on camera. I just got some funky lighting going on, so I apologize for that. So as far as performance goes, this knife is amazing, especially for like I think it was like a $37 knife from Kershaw guy, shipped direct. You know, blade, it comes very sharp out of box, you know, paper slicing, hair shaving sharp, as to be expected from Kershaw. But the action on it, you know, it's got the I believe it's like Nylotron washers, so not even phosphor bronze washers, but this thing is very smooth. I of course have taken it apart, nano lubed the washers, but even out of the box, I mean, it was smooth, and I'm able to give it a back finger flick. That's a pretty good indication of some sexy action. And then of course it's got the Emerson Wave, which is one of the main selling points for these Emerson collaborations, and that wave works great. Works very good, just as good as in fact just as good as the regular Emerson Wave. So here is a Emerson Commander. I did a video on this a long time ago. This is my personal Commander. But you can see on here the waves are very similar. Similar in size, shape, depth. There you go. Some companies that wave, Spyderco, to be most specific, they take that wave and they add, you know, about 50% onto it and give it a humongous hook, which I think is fugly beyond belief. But it does make it a lot more functional. It does take a little bit of practice to just get the hang of catching that hook. You can see this one's just a hair more pronounced than this one. But when I'm trying to deploy it, I've not had a failed deployment yet. And again, the action on that is great. The action on this, I can't even give it a rear finger flick. But then again, this is a Commander. It's got a funkier blade shape. You can see the thumb disc is already much further away from the frame than the Emerson, which is nestled almost parallel to the pivot there. So it's good for flicking. A couple of big differences, obviously American made, Chinese made, 154 cm steel, 8CR 13 MOV steel. This one's got stonewash flats with satin grinds. This one's got satin flats with stonewash grinds. They both have G10 backspacers. I left the factory Emerson G10 backspacer on this one. I will tell you, the fit and finish, that's one thing that people complain about with Emerson, because it is more of a utilitarian knife company, more of a hard use knife company. A slightly less attention paid to some of the details in their main production knives. The fit and finish on this one, in my opinion, was far superior to this one. The G10 is a little bit rougher. Even looking at the backspacer, I mean, just coming out of the factory, it doesn't have the best finish on it. It's kind of porous. It's not entirely smooth. It's not entirely flush. You look at the liners on there, you can see lots of tooling marks still. Look at these liners. They're bead blasted, so it covers that up. Oh, you can see a little bit of a grind there from when I was shaping the scales, but I mean, they've pretty much covered up all the machining marks, whereas on this one they haven't even done that. So that's just an interesting contrast. I mean, Kershaw is making thousands upon thousands of knives per year, so they've got this down to a science. They've got a lot of machines going into their production. Emerson's going to be a much smaller shop overall. And again, I mean, their main focus is blade quality, utilitarian design, hard use design, just making sure it can take the wear and tear. It doesn't need to look sexy doing it, although this knife is pretty damn sexy. So, I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're not wanting to spend the kind of money that it takes to get into a regular Emerson, this being a mini Commander, I mean, you're going to spend a bill and a half, depending on if you're going brand new or slightly used. It's considerably more than the $37 shipped from Kershaw guy that you're going to spend on this guy. So a lot of people are going to start out with something like this, or it's going to give people a lot of good perspective being able to start out on something like this, as opposed to having to dive into, save up for, or hope to God that this gives them everything that they wanted. You are definitely getting two completely different knife qualities for your money. This one being steel design, titanium liners. This one just being a relatively decent current steel, heat treated well, shaped well, coming from a good company with an excellent warranty. Not that Emerson's warranty is bad either, but those are just some of the other main selling points of a Kershaw. So there you go, a nice little breakdown and overview of this very sexy, pimped CQC7k. And that's all I got for you today. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.